3 a.m. Getting ready to do some more trail maintenance today. The Hoosier National Forest. Been out, I've been out, this will be my fifth time out, and so far this routine I have has worked out pretty good. And that is, I have sprayed my clothes down the night before with the Sawyer tick spray, inside and out. I let them soak outside. Hang them up in the garage, let them soak outside. And then before I get dressed, I take the deep woods off and I spray it on me all over the place, except for just a certain areas I don't get. Gotta be careful, but I spray it all over me, and then the clothes that I have sprayed, I'll get those on, and so far so good. I mean, I'm out in tick infested area, and I have not had tick number 1 on me yet. So, and that's like 10 hours a day in deep weeds, cutting, chopping, lopping. So far so good. Now, it was like we were discussing in a couple videos before I first started going out. This system works for me, but you'll want to test it and make sure. Make sure that your skin can handle the deep woods off. You know, you don't want to do this and head out for the first time and then, you know, have some kind of bad reaction. So that wouldn't be good. That would not be good. And then also with the Sawyer, you know, is the Sawyer going to bother your skin or not? But to me, it works. And ticks are bad news. It's the end of July, so it's been pretty hot, but there's been a lot of rain. So I don't know, the ticks maybe have died down. Maybe the heat and maybe all the moisture has killed them off a little bit, but I don't know. I'm not gonna take any chances. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep spraying down. Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't want to necessarily get up this early to get going, but hey, you know, when it gets to be this hot outside, you almost have to. You almost have to just kind of get up. You know, it's an hour drive there. You've seen in the last videos. I'll get there. By the time I get all set up, you know, it's starting to get light. Time to start lopping. Somebody made me some cinnamon rolls for the trail. Yeah, one thing's for sure. Mrs. Melissa sure does take good care of me. There's no doubt about that. And I really, really appreciate it a lot. These will be good. After 8-9 hours on the trail and you come off, yummy, yummy. Yeah, I have found that I almost like the ice packs. You know, I'll put them on each side of my drink. I've got some cranberry juice, got some pizzas and my cinnamon rolls. You don't have to worry about the water, you know, spoiling your food. And I got this Coleman. Tell you what, this Coleman, it's one of those 5-day coolers. It might be a Coleman Extreme. Oh man, it's well worth a few extra dollars to get it. because your ice will stay good, which means your food will stay good for a long time. One thing I found out through the years is when you go on trips, road trips like this, and you're going to have to get up early, go ahead and get as much done as you can the night before. And that way there you wake up and you're sleepy and you're not going to take off and forget like your camera, things like that. I actually used my tripod this morning, but most of the time it would already be in the car ready to go. How's that for pretty? That's some of Miss Melissa's flowers that she's grown outside. She'll pick them and bring them in. Wow. That's pretty cool. Anyways, if you do something like this and you're going to get up early and you're going to go out and you know you're going to really work hard, and you know you've got the heat and you know it's demanding conditions, so one thing you want to do is be sure and get up and eat a big breakfast, okay? And make sure that you've got a lot of fuel, so when you go out there you don't start hitting it pretty hard and within an hour all of a sudden you notice your energy level dives. So you know, I'm going to eat me a big breakfast now. I might eat a snack as soon as I pull up there, and then I have plenty of snacks with me all day long. So constantly adding fuel to the body, and that's the way you get that energy and you keep on going. So anyways, beautiful flowers. Okay, everything is loaded up. Gonna take the Jeep today. Start it up, it's always a good sign. Okay, gonna get a little fuel and head out on down that highway, Interstate 64, heading east to Hoosier National Forest. Here I come. Okay, I'm on my way. Just got to thinking that, you know, the last time I came here, which was on Saturday, and today's Wednesday, when I got here, it seemed like it was darker and it took a little while longer to get lighter. And but then, you know, summer solstice is June 21st. That's the longest day of the year. So here we are, July 27th. So every day beyond June 21st, the day becomes 2 minutes shorter. So I'm thinking that's probably a minute every day in the morning and a minute every day at sunset. So technically, if it's been 30 days, I would say, I'd say the mornings here, if you split that in half, 15 minutes, yeah, it's not getting light 15-20 minutes later than when I first started this project. And that'll continue, you know, so that'll be something I'll have to calculate, because if I get here and it's totally dark, I gotta just sit in the vehicle and wait. Anyways, fun things to think about as you're driving to work in the morning. I'll just give you a slight briefing on breaking news. Top news stories right now. Of course, what's dominated it since, you know, mid-February is the coronavirus, you know, COVID-19. You know, Florida is so infected right now, there's no ICU beds left. Florida, Texas, and California have now become the new New Yorks. So it's not looking good. Dr. Birx, who's one of the very last standing professionals on the administration's task force, the rest of them have been kind of shunned away, and like Dr. Fauci has been discredited and basically tried to throw in the trash. But Dr. Birx just 2 days ago gave out a warning. She said there are some states that are in big trouble if they don't correct right now and start to shut back down. That was Kentucky, Ohio, Virginia, Tennessee, and Illinois and Indiana. Of course, I live in southern Indiana, so that's a big warning shot over the bow. You know, Governor Holcomb better shut her down, because it is bad. You know, my little county still having 40 to 50 cases a day. That's crazy. That's way too many. So anyways, that's the news that goes on and on. You know, we're less than 100 days from this election, and they just canceled a presidential debate that was scheduled, you know, in Indiana. They canceled that for September. You can't even get a debate going, let alone run this election. So I don't know what's going to happen. Hold on, folks. We're rocking and rolling. We're shaking. Hang in there. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Protect yourself. Protect your family. Got to do that. Got to. And I'd like to clarify that in just a little bit. Dr. Fauci has been discredited by the administration, but I'm telling you what, that guy to me is a hero. He tried hard to save this country from being infected the way it did. And, you know, if we could have had him up front and could have had him calling the shots, we wouldn't be in near the situation we're in right now. So thank you, Dr. Fauci. Always be grateful for you. You did a great job. Same to you, Dr. Redmond. Here we go. There is one little segment to add to that COVID-19 headline news. Is yesterday the Florida Marlins tried to start baseball up. You know, let's get the season going. Let's let the teams get out there and play. Just no spectators and the fans. It didn't even last a couple weeks, and the Florida Marlins announced yesterday they have 13 players now that have gotten sick with COVID-19. So now they're canceling their game. So, you know, everybody wants to keep jumping the gun, leapfrogging, and we, as Americans, I think we just want to act like this thing is not gonna get us, or that we've beat us. You know? Or actually that we beat it. No, we haven't beat it. It's here, it's staying, and now we're heading, you know, summer's coming to an end, we're heading into the fall. So, geez, if you're watching this video, please take every precaution you possibly can to protect yourself and help protect others. Because, man, fall of 2020 maybe worse than what we've seen so far, and that's saying a lot. 140,000 Americans have died already. Fears are that's going to double. 250,000 Americans gone. Alrighty, here we are. Once again, Hoosier National Forest, Indian and Celina Lake. Little guard stand. It's a happy little guard stand. Alright, let's get on back here. knock out this last little loop section and kind of go from there. It's supposed to be in the 90s, low 90s today. High humidity with a change coming tomorrow. 100% chance of rain, and then it's going to cool off into the mid 80s. So that sounds like a pretty good forecast to me. Anyways, let it get a little bit lighter before we hit the trail. What a beautiful morning. Wow. Yeah. Dang. That's why I like getting out here early. Man, oh man. Trail maintenance in the Hoosier National Forest. Celina Indian Lake. Celina Indian Lake. Two Lakes Loop Trail. Wow. It's spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. Wow. Okay, as you can see, the sun is coming up over here to the east, and looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. Not a lot of breeze out here in the woods already. Probably about 5:30 in the morning. So it's going to be a hot one. That's why I get up and get going, get out here early and get my project done. I see some limbs sticking out here in the trail as I'm going forward. So it'll be a lopping kind of morning for sure. One thing about early morning and in the evening, things like this don't last long. I'll show you what I mean. This pink hue that has shown up all of a sudden here. And you know, that's the clouds. That's the sun, you know, bouncing off the clouds right above me. And like I said, it'll only last just sometimes 5 minutes. So if you're into photography and you want to grab something like that, you got to be ready. You got to be ready to capture it fast, because here, probably another few minutes, it'll be gone. But that is just so cool. I like that. Yeah, you can see that the briars are sticking over, and especially with the jungle atmosphere we've had this year, this will be closed up in no time. So I'm just going to take my time and get all these briars whacked back, get these branches whacked back, and then it looks like it clears up a little bit. So there's a view from the other angle right there. Let me take a photo of that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop my pack off, set it on my little tripod chair that I carry. Hey, one thing that's interesting is you can't really tell it, but Like you see this tall grass right here? This stuff like here and all along here. You probably can't tell it, but I'm always looking down because that's where your big snakes will hang out, right there. And a lot of times they'll be out here on the trail because they don't want to be, you know, in the weeds with the dew and being all wet. So they'll be hanging out in this wet grass and stuff. So I'm always looking down, make sure that that's a stick and not a snake down there that I'm going to step on. Thanks. Yeah, I really don't like putting my pack on the ground. I just think that's a good way to get spiders and ticks and stuff like that. So I brought this little tripod stool with me, and it's nice because then I can throw my pack on there and it kind of keeps it off the ground. I tell you what, if you're a student going to school, in college, and you're studying things like plants and our national forest and invasive species and things like that, this would be a good job for you right here. Go and put in an application to be a volunteer and come out here, and you can discover, you know, you get an up close and personal look at all the different plants. And I mean, just like in this section right here, gosh, I don't know how many species there are. There's gotta be a bunch of different kinds in here. And you know, as I'm trimming, you know, I'll see plants that I've hiked for decades now and have never even seen some of these plants until I get up close and personal and start to lop away at them and cut them back. And man, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. That's a highly recommendation for you. You know, when I was a kid, these were everywhere. It seemed like every tree had worms on them. And it seems like you don't see them quite as much anymore. And I don't know if that's because of the, I don't know if it's the insecticides that were used, if they got wiped out, or it's probably a good thing they're not around because they sure can destroy a tree, but you just don't see them much anymore. Okay, that took, from what I thought, about 30 minutes. And got it cleared out. This is a 2-year plan, so hopefully I won't have to come back down through here for another 2 years and clear this out. So anyways, that's how that is done. And I'll keep that path open for everybody hiking. All the briars are shaking their heads right now going, yeah, we'll see about that 2-year program. Okay, the morning's moving right along. Everything's going good. Kind of hit a real easy section here for about another 100 or so yards. It looks like it's pretty clear, so that's nice. I'll be able to make up a little time. But I want to show you something that my brother first pointed out when I used to go to the Pacific Northwest, and we used to hike out there with him. And one thing that just bothered the crap out of him, and he explained it as if it's trash. It's people putting trash out in the woods. And you know, I understand some people do this to mark a trail, to you know, they mark it on their way in, so just in case they happen to get lost and they're coming back out, and they'll see their ribbons. But the problem is they don't ever take them down, so they leave them. So then, you know, if you get in a period of a year, you get several people doing this, before you know it, you got all these ribbons tied on the trees that start to deteriorate. They just look like trash. So anytime I can, I go ahead and just stuff, because it's just, I don't know. I agree with my brother. I think it's just trash on the tree, you know? If you're going to mark it, going in, if the conditions are bad, especially a snow trail, you know, possibility of a whiteout, You go in, you mark a few things on the way in, but clean the trail up when you come back out, please. Okay, made it to the section here where the connection trail comes, and it hits the main trail. On left and right. And this direction right here to the east is where last time I made it to this point and then walked back to the car from there, and that's as far as I've got. So I finished this connection trail behind me. I will do this section right here. It should be about a half a mile or so long. Once I get to the end of it, then I've knocked out this whole section, these multiple loops. Here to the north of the road, I'll have knocked those out. So that's a good thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue on down this trail. Okay, this is one of my favorite things to do out here on the trail. Coming along and I'm trimming, and I come up on one of these signs right here. So you can see it needs definitely needs some maintenance, and even the sign itself is going to need some help. It's got the monarch. Okay. Anyways, let me get this looking good for the folks. These boys buzz me all day long. Little punks. Ain't no sense killing him, no. God, he's got like 1,000 family members out here. Here's a pretty cool little find as I was trimming out around this sign right here. It's blue. A blue mushroom. Okay, now for my favorite part. Cleaning the sign. Woo! Just some Windex on a rag. Seems to work really good on these signs. Thanks to Mrs. Melissa coming up with the idea. It works really good, like brand new. You know, I bet these signs are so expensive. They're so nice. Wow, that looks good. That looks really, really good. Sweet. Okay. How's that look? Ooh. Ready to go for the next visitor. So that's one of my favorite things to do. Little Windex and a bunch of lopping, and it's ready to go. Ready for the first hiker. Okay, got one side done, right side done. Gonna get ready to come up the left. If there was ever a drawback with Celina Indian Lake, one of them, actually there are probably a couple of them, but one of them would be that it's not far from Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville, Kentucky is probably less than an hour away to the east. And in fact, this trail is probably visited more by people from Louisville than it is from where I live in Evansville. And so when the air traffic is heavy, which it used to be, right? You'd come camping here, and you know, throughout the night you'd hear jets about that height I just showed you going out. And it's no big deal, but you know, you can hear them, and they used to be pretty heavy. But now, you know, the last few months I've been here, it's almost kind of rare. Excuse me, it's almost kind of rare to see them. I see them cruising around up there, but I've noticed just being out here today, the traffic is starting to pick up a little bit, air traffic. So anyways, that's one thing that you'll notice about being here. And then the other thing that might be a little bit of a drawback, it is only a few miles off Interstate 64. So, you know, if the wind's just right on or a real still night, you know, you'll hear the semis up and down the highway, especially if they go off and hit the rumble strips, you'll hear them. But, you know, it's not much. It may wake you up for a second and you go right back to sleep again. And then you also have a little bit of a security issue there, too. You know, somebody that might be out on the run or something. Maybe this is their final step, getting ready to run out of gas, and they can pull off the interstate here and within a couple miles be in the campground. So, you know, you got to keep your guard up a little bit on that part of it. Still a treasure in southern Indiana for sure. But speaking of Louisville and the big outdoor community that they have, I had the great pleasure of running a store years ago, back in 1999 to 2003, called Quest Outdoors in Evansville, and the mothership was from Louisville. And Don and Barbara Burks were the owners, and great people. Man, Don knew so much about the outdoors, and he was the real deal. He got out there and he hiked and camped and backpacked and climbed mountains, and he did it all. So great people. Enjoyed that. Learned a lot about retail. Learned a lot about the outdoors through that 4-year period right there. So I hope he's doing well. Hope him and Barbara both. Hope Quest Outdoors is doing well in Louisville, and anybody from Louisville sees this video, come on out and take on the trail. You probably have been here before, and it's nice. It's a cool place to hang out. Okay. Woo! All right. Well, that was a pretty good morning. I think it's about lunchtime, about noon. I kind of wanted to get that section done all the way to where I had left off, but as soon as I got finished with that sign, the trail started out into an open field. It was a clear cut that they've done years ago, and I'll tell you what, it's in the low 90s, and there's no wind blowing, and you know, I can kind of deal with that. in the shade. But when you're working out here, when you're working out in a field like that, that's a little bit too extreme. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and call it a day, and then figure out when I can come back. That would probably be the best. And also, when I was doing that sign in that area right there, I started getting a lot of ticks jumping on me. And, you know, I've often heard that, you know, tick festation, there's a couple reasons for it, you know, turkeys, deer, but humans, you know, where humans congregate, ticks will sense that, and they'll tend to hang out there. So maybe because that sign, maybe there's more there, I don't know. But you know, I actually took out my spray and started spraying some more, and believe it or not, I jinxed myself this morning by saying my system had worked so well 4 times, never been bit. But when I was there at the sign, I felt something bite my leg, and I sure enough lifted my pants leg, and I got bit by a tick. So I was able to get him off okay. He released okay, but still, as soon as I get home, I'll take a shower and make sure that that I don't have any more on my legs or anything. I was kind of surprised that one got in like that, but sometimes when you start sweating real bad, the material will start to rub on your leg, and it'll kind of start to wash the bug spray and stuff off that you have on. So anyways, I think I'm going to call it a day for today. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing that sign. That's always awesome. So I'll come back. Next time when I come back, I'll park down at the next parking lot down there, and I'll walk the connection trail. I've already cleared it. It's about a half a mile, 3/4 of a mile to the main trail. Then from there, I'll just take a right, and I'd say I probably have a half a mile to clear through that field. But if I get here at 5 a.m., that'll be fine. In fact, I'll probably walk back here when it's still dark, and being out in the middle of the field like that, it'll get light a lot faster right there. So anyways, remember, capital LAF space Film Fest. I got sweat in my eyes. Woo. Okay, so capital LAF space Film Fest. Thank you for dropping by. Hoping that you are enjoying these trail maintenance videos with hiking tips and food tips and things like that. Check out my other videos. Been posting quite a bit on self-defense. I think I've got lesson 1, 2, and 3 already posted. Probably going to do maybe a half a dozen lessons on it. Something that, you know, if you learn, it's going to help you out. And then I've almost got my office all set up where I'm going to start going back into my archives and start drawing all those adventures from years past. So I know I've got them on Lake Superior, and I've got them out west, traveling out west, all through the west out there. I got the Pacific Northwest, you know, videos. So anyways, that'll be good. That'll be fun. So thank you. Thank you for dropping in. Capital LAF space Film Fest. Peace. Okay, as you notice on this video, I did not finish in the morning. I would like to have, but so what I did was I went ahead and drove home. I took a little nap, got me something to eat, got charged back up, and jumped in the Jeep and headed back, and was able to finish the trail up that evening. So I've got a part 2 on this one here. Check it out. You'll like the conclusion.